And a couple of quick questions. Sorry to keep you, but there's so much to ask you. UFOs. There's been a lot of...
My husband is in the corner, for the record, pumping his fist right now that you're asking this question.
So, I mean, is there anything... We've had some declassification of some very strange videos that look like they are, unidentified flying objects. Is there anything in the files that you think you could find or you have found?
Nothing that I'm prepared to talk about today.
Ooh. So watch this space.
Say what?
Watch this space.
We are I'm just going to say this. We're continuing to look for the truth and share that truth with the American people.
The truth is out there.
Yes, it is.
So do you believe that there could be aliens?
I honestly, like, my personal belief, I have my own views and opinions.
Right.
In this role, I got to be careful with what I share.
Very interesting. and
I'm laughing. My husband's laughing in the corner because we have these same conversations, and obviously, I don't share any classified information. Outside of my building with those who have clearances. But this is fun that he's here to watch this right now.
Because it's so interesting. I think it's one of those burning things that we grew up with.
Of course, There are a lot of questions, and there's a lot that's been put out there, and there's I'm still going through and looking through what do we know and what is it that we don't know.
And the New Jersey, the strange objects over New Jersey were drones.
I still have a lot of questions around that.
Yeah.
I've heard what the public official line is. I just personally still have a lot of questions that are unanswered.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't just New Jersey. It was happening in different parts of the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. And we had the Chinese spy balloon. I mean, who knows what the Chinese could be sending over?
There's a lot of classified information about that.
We'll take a look at this image now captured by the Hubble telescope. It may look like just a couple of blue stars, but it's actually an interstellar comet. According to NASA, the Atlas 31 travels at 130,000 miles an hour, making it the fastest speed recorded by an object outside our solar system. Don't worry, scientists say it poses no threat to Earth. It was 277 million miles away from us at the time the picture was taken.
A new interstellar object in our solar system has at least one expert asking whether it's evidence of alien life. NASA and the European Space Agency released these images of the object, which was discovered last month passing by the Earth at 130,000 miles an hour. But the former chair of Harvard's astronomy department is not convinced it's a comet. Professor A.B. Loeb suggests that it could possibly be alien technology.
Many characteristics of this object are not typical. The trajectory is fine-tuned. It's too big to be a rock. And moreover, it has glow in front of it instead of a tail behind it, like a comet looks.
A new telescope built to track fast-moving space objects in Chile has caught a comet from beyond the solar system moving across the sky. The Rubin Observatory captured the rare footage of the comet known as 31 Atlas 10 days before the comet was officially identified by NASA. The object will come closest to our sun around October 30, moving to within 130 million miles of the star and just within the orbit of Mars. It's then expected to leave the solar system and head back out into the cosmos.
So, Professor Loeb, your recent paper suggests that this object might actually be alien technology rather than just another comet. What exactly about the speed, the trajectory, the behavior leads you to consider this as a possibility?
Well, first, it's relatively bright for its distance, implying that if it's a solid object, it has to be 20 kilometers in diameter. That's twice as big as the giant asteroid that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago. And the previous objects we saw from interstellar space were only hundreds of meters in size. So there is just not enough rocky material in interstellar space to provide us with a 20-kilometer rock that appears once per decade. But more importantly, the trajectory is very unusual. It's aligned with the orbit of the Earth around the sun. And the chance of that happening is 1 in 500. And then it also, the timing of its arrival is very fine-tuned because it comes very close to Jupiter, to Mars, and to Venus. And the chance of that happening is 1 in 20,000. And moreover, it's moving in the opposite direction to the motion of the Earth around the Sun. And when it will come closest to the Sun, the Earth would be on the opposite side. So we won't be able to observe it. That's the point in time when it can do a maneuver with the aid of the Sun's gravity. And that will happen on October 29th. And I already heard from a fan that he is trading options against the volatility of the markets, the stock market, with an expiration date because of the October 29th, because if it's alien tech, that would change the future in a quite dramatic way. It will have a huge impact.
I mean, so many questions. So, I mean, if I have this correct, I believe you've proposed using a Richter scale before to assess such objects. A 0 means this is totally of natural origin. 10 means this is clearly engineered. Based on what we know about this object and what you're observing, what number would you give it now?
We don't have enough data. It depends how much weight you give to the unusual orbit. The trajectory is extremely rare and fine-tuned. And depending on that, how much you assign to that, you will give it a rank that is somewhere in the middle. It's difficult to assess at this time, but we will get, the good news is we'll get much more better data in the coming months. And the fun of doing science is that you can ask questions at first and then answer them with data. And we don't need to have an opinion, especially in a blind date like this one. All bets are off. This visitor came from interstellar space, and it's possible that it targeted the inner solar system for a technological reason.
From what you're describing, this sounds like one of the worst blind dates potentially I've ever heard of. Do we have the capabilities right now to track, intercept, and even respond to something non-human entering our solar system as soon as October?
Well, it will be moving relative to Earth at nearly 100 kilometers per second when it's closest to the Sun, simply because it moves in the opposite direction to the motion of the Earth. There is no way for us to send a rocket that will intercept with it from Earth. However, I wrote a paper last week that there is actually a spacecraft that is orbiting Jupiter. It's called Juno. And it's at the end of its life. The plan was to send it straight into Jupiter in September 2025 because the mission has ended. But what I realized is that if instead of giving it a push so that it ends its life inside Jupiter, you give it a push away from Jupiter, if the push is sufficient, then it will actually intercept the orbit of 3I Atlas, this new object, in March 2026, when it will come very close to Jupiter. And on Tuesday this week, just a few days ago, I had a phone call from Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who asked me for an update about 3I Atlas, and I mentioned this to her, and she wrote a letter to NASA on Thursday last week, just 2 days ago, in which she encourages NASA to look into the possibility of using Juno as a probe of 3I Atlas.
I really appreciate that update, and I hope you keep us updated on this as well.